Football is a team sport, but its story is often defined by individuals who rose above the rest, who played with such brilliant style and spirit that they became eternal. You know, it's funny, you spend your whole life playing for the team, working together, and that's what it's all about, really. But then there are these moments, these players who just, they capture something. They lift the game, they lift everyone around them. It's not just about scoring goals or winning trophies, though that's a big part of it, of course. It's about the way they played, the way they carried themselves, the way they made you feel when you watched them. These are the icons of the game, players who changed football and inspired generations across the globe, and I've been lucky enough to see a few play against some and even just be a fan of others. It's a special thing, that connection. You see a kid in a park trying to replicate a move or wearing a shirt with a name on the back, and you know that player has reached them. That's the power of it. It goes beyond the 90 minutes on a Saturday. It becomes part of the fabric of the sport, part of its history, and something that connects us all, no matter where we're from. They become more than just footballers. They become legends. Their stories are told and retold, passed down. And it's important, I think, to remember them, to understand what made them so special. Because they're the ones who set the standards, who showed what was possible with a ball at their feet. They're the reason so many of us fell in love with the game in the first place, that feeling you get when you see something truly extraordinary. It's about that magic, that little bit of something extra that you can't quite explain, but you know it when you see it. That's what we're going to talk about today, the true icons. When you talk about football legends, there's one name that always comes up first, isn't there? Pelé. Oh, Ray, the king, and he really was. To burst onto the world stage at 17 in a World Cup and do what he did, it's almost unimaginable, the pressure on those young shoulders. But he didn't just cope with it, he thrived, didn't he? He played with a freedom, a confidence that was just breathtaking to watch. Even in those old clips you see, you could see he was something different, something the world hadn't quite seen before, a new kind of star. He set a benchmark for what a young talent could achieve, and it's a standard that's still looked at today, you know. Every young player dreams of making an impact like that, but Pelé, he was on another level right from the very start of his incredible journey. And then you look at the achievements. 3 World Cups with Brazil, 3. Most players dream of just playing in one, let alone winning it, let alone 3 times. And over 1,000 goals in his career. The numbers are just staggering, aren't they? It speaks to a level of consistency, a dedication to his craft over so many years. It wasn't just a flash in the pan. It wasn't just flashes of brilliance. It was sustained excellence, game after game. He carried the hopes of a nation and then the admiration of the world on his back. That kind of responsibility to deliver time and time again under that intense scrutiny. It's what separates the great players from the true icons, the ones who are remembered forever. He wasn't just playing for himself, he was playing for Brazil, for the fans, for the history of the game he loved so much. But it wasn't just the goals or the trophies, as incredible as they were. It was the way he played, the style he brought to the pitch, the creativity, the sheer joy he seemed to have with the ball at his feet. It was infectious. You couldn't help but smile watching him. That elegance, that flair. It was something else. He made football look beautiful, like an art form, really, and he became the sport's first truly global superstar, didn't he? At a time when the world wasn't as connected as it is now, Pelé's name, his image, transcended borders, reached every corner. He brought people together, all united in their admiration for his talent. He showed the world the power of football, its ability to captivate and inspire millions. He really did change the game for everyone. Then there was Diego Maradona. What a player, what a character. Fiery, fearless. You could see it in his eyes, couldn't you? That burning desire, that intensity. He was a genius, no doubt about it. But he was also a rebel, someone who played by his own rules on and off the pitch, which made him even more fascinating. That combination made him utterly compelling. You couldn't take your eyes off him when he was on the ball. He had this incredible low center of gravity. The ball just stuck to his foot like it was glued there, didn't it? The things he could do, the way he could change a game in an instant with a piece of magic. It was just phenomenal, truly. He wasn't always the easiest, I suppose, but that fire was part of what made him so special, so driven to succeed. And 1986, that World Cup in Mexico, It's legendary, isn't it? He practically dragged Argentina to that trophy, almost single-handedly. It was one of the greatest individual performances in any tournament ever. And of course, you have those 2 goals against England in the quarter-final moments etched in football history. The hand of God, so controversial, so typically Maradona in a way, that cunning that will to win at any cost, even if it meant bending the rules a bit, and then just minutes later, the goal of the century. That run, weaving past player after player, and it was pure, unadulterated brilliance, poetry in motion. Those 2 moments side by side, they almost perfectly sum up the complexity of Diego, the light and the shade, the genius and the controversy that followed him. He really did symbolize passion, didn't he? And struggle too, I think. You felt he was always fighting for his team, for his country, sometimes even for himself against the world. That raw brilliance he possessed, it came from somewhere deep inside, a place not many could reach. The fans, especially in Argentina and Naples, they didn't just admire him, they adored him, worshipped him. He was like a god to them. He connected with them on such an emotional level, a really deep bond. He played with his heart on his sleeve. Every single game, leaving nothing out there, and that's something people respond to, that honesty, that vulnerability, even when it's mixed with such incredible, almost unbelievable talent. He left an indelible mark, that's for sure. A legacy that's still talked about. Chapter 3. Johan Cruyff. Now, he was someone who didn't just play the game, he understood it. He thought about it on a different level to most. A true intellectual of football. He truly revolutionized football. Not just with his incredible skill as a player, but with his mind, his ideas, his whole philosophy. You hear about players having a good football brain. Well, Cruyff's was exceptional, wasn't it? He saw things on the pitch that others didn't. Anticipated moves, orchestrated play like a conductor. He was always a step ahead, thinking 2 or 3 moves in advance. It wasn't just about individual brilliance for him, though he had plenty of that. It was about the system, the collective, how all the pieces fit together to create something beautiful. That intellectual approach was groundbreaking for its time. He was, of course, the face of total football with that great Netherlands team in the 1970s. What a sight that was, and what a way to play the game, so fluid and dynamic, players interchanging positions, everyone comfortable on the ball, attacking and defending as a unit. It was fluid, it was exciting, and Cruyff was the conductor at the heart of it all. His intelligence was matched by his sublime technique, that famous Cruyff turn. So simple, yet so effective and so elegant, kids still try to do it today. He made everything look effortless, like he had all the time in the world. He had this aura about him on the pitch, a confidence, a command. He wasn't just a passenger in the team. He was the driving force, the one who made them tick, the one who made them believe. And his influence, it's massive. It stretches right into the modern game. You see it everywhere. He didn't just stop when he hung up his boots. His ideas continued to shape the sport. His philosophy, particularly what he did at Barcelona, first as a player and then as a manager, it laid the foundations for so much of the success they've had, and for the way many top teams try to play today, that possession-based attacking style. He believed in attractive attacking football, in developing young talent from the academy and playing with intelligence and style above all else. He wasn't just a football player, he was a visionary, an architect of beautiful football. His legacy is in the trophies, yes, but it's also in the very fabric of how the game is played and thought about around the world. Chapter 4. Zinedine Zidane. Zizou. When I think of him, I think of elegance, pure elegance on a football pitch. It was like watching ballet sometimes. He was so calm, wasn't he? Even in the biggest moments, the most chaotic situations, he just seemed to have all the time in the world, never rushed, never flustered. Yet underneath that calmness, there was a real commanding presence, a steel, a determination to win. He blended artistry with a surprising power you might not expect. He could glide past players with that incredible close control, those pirouettes he did, but he could also shield the ball, win headers, and he had that thunderous shot when he decided to unleash it. He was just a complete midfielder, the kind of player you build a team around, the one everyone looked to. His vision was something else, truly exceptional. He could see passes that no one else could, unlock defenses with a single touch or a perfectly weighted ball that just split the opposition open. That control, that grace he possessed, it was mesmerizing to watch. You'd just be in awe. And he always delivered on the biggest stages when the pressure was at its highest. Leading France to World Cup victory in 1998 on home soil, scoring 2 goals in the final. That's the stuff of dreams, isn't it? The kind of thing every kid imagines. He had that knack for the big occasion, for rising to the challenge when it mattered most. He wasn't just a flair player, he was a match winner. Someone who took responsibility and made things happen for his team. And then, of course, there's the 2006 World Cup final and that infamous headbutt. It was a shocking moment, no doubt about it, and not how anyone wanted to see his incredible playing career end, especially on that stage. But in a strange way, I don't think it erased his legacy, not at all. If anything, it just showed the immense pressure these players are under. The raw emotion that can sometimes spill over in the heat of the moment. It made him human, vulnerable in the eyes of many fans, I think. His brilliance as a footballer, his incredible achievements, they still stand tall. He was a true artist of the game, a maestro who could dictate the tempo and create magic out of nothing. He remains one of the greats, no question. Chapter 5. And then you have Lionel Messi. What can you even say that hasn't been said? He's a magician, isn't he? Just pure magic with a football. For me, and I think for so many around the world, he's perhaps the purest, most natural talent the game has ever seen born to play. It's like the ball is an extension of his body, completely under his spell. That low center of gravity, the way he dribbles past players as if they're not even there, sometimes 3 or 4 at a time. It's breathtaking. You can't believe what you're seeing. His vision, his passing, his finishing. He has it all, the complete package, and he's been doing it at the very highest level for so long. Week in, week out, season after season, just producing moments of genius that leave you speechless and wondering how he does it. What's always struck me about Messi, apart from the unbelievable ability, is his humble demeanor, how grounded he seems. For someone who's achieved so much, who's constantly in the spotlight, he seems to just love playing football, pure and simple. He mesmerizes fans all over the world, not just with his goals and assists, but with the way he plays, the sheer joy he seems to derive from it. And that joy is infectious. You see kids everywhere trying to emulate him, trying those impossible dribbles in the park or on the street. He's inspired a whole generation, and probably more to come. And to maintain that level of performance, that hunger, for the best part of 2 decades, it's a testament to his incredible dedication and his deep love for the game. And then finally, to crown it all, leading Argentina to World Cup victory in 2022. You could see what it meant to him, to the team, to the entire country. After all the near misses, all the pressure that was on his shoulders for so many years, to finally lift that trophy. It was an incredible moment, one that will go down in football history as truly special. It felt like the final piece of the puzzle for his extraordinary career, the one thing everyone said he needed. He's given so much to football, so many unforgettable moments that fans will cherish forever. He's not just a player, he's an artist, a phenomenon, and undoubtedly one of the greatest to have ever graced a football pitch, a true icon of our times, icon of our outro. These icons are more than players. They are symbols of eras, inspirations for youth, and pillars of football's mythology. When you look back, you don't just remember the scores or the league tables. You remember these individuals, the ones who made you jump out of your seat, the ones who made you believe anything was possible on a football pitch. They define periods in the game's history, don't they? You talk about Pelé's era, Maradona's era, Cruyff's revolution, Zidane's artistry, Messi's magic. They become benchmarks for greatness, and for young kids starting out, they're the ultimate inspiration, the dream of what they could become if they work hard and dedicate themselves to the sport they love. Their jerseys are worn in every corner of the earth. Their names are whispered in playgrounds. It's incredible, really, the reach these players have, how they touch so many lives. You can go anywhere in the world, and you'll see a kid wearing a Messi shirt or a Zidane shirt or someone talking about Pelé or Maradona. It shows how football connects people, how these players transcend language and culture and borders. That shirt, that name, it represents something powerful, a shared passion, a shared admiration for greatness, a common language. It's a beautiful thing, that global community built around the love of the game and its heroes, a family of fans. And their legacies live on every time a child kicks a ball with a dream. That's the most important thing, isn't it? It's not just about what they did during their careers. It's about the inspiration they continue to provide long after they've stopped playing. Every young boy or girl who goes out into the park or plays with their mates and tries to bend it like any of these legends, they're carrying that legacy forward, keeping the flame alive. These players showed us the magic of football, the joy, the artistry, the drama, the sheer excitement of it all. And as long as there are kids dreaming, their stories, their brilliance will never be forgotten. They are quite simply eternal.